Democrat Tim Ryan completely obliterated Republicans in the House over the potential of a government shutdown because of this ridiculous Trump border wall. Watch.
This has been really interesting debate because our friends on the other side, Mr. Speaker, it's like they have amnesia and nothing happened before the election a couple years ago. All of these promises about a border wall were followed by the cheers and the chants of, and who's going to pay for that wall? And you remember all your fans would stand up and Mexico's going to pay for that wall. Who? Mexico. And here we are today getting ready to shut down the government over you asking the American taxpayer to pay for this border wall. And then some of you even used to say, are saying that we have hollow words, that our words don't mean anything. When this president is going back on the promise that he made. He said Mexico was going to pay for it. He said it at the rallies. He was in Ohio. He was in the swing states. And now he's going back on his word on that. And he just went back on his word where he promised the entire Senate he was going to support the continuing resolution. And you're calling us and saying our words are hollow? Are you kidding me? Now, look, I'm for border security. I'm for border security, but I'm not for a wall. You know what? I like cars, too. I'm for cars. I'm not for the Model T. I like planes. I don't want a glider that was designed and built by Wilbur Wright. I like my phone, but I don't want to go back and get the rotary dial out. You guys are living in the past. And this government is in chaos. It's in a free fall. The market's in a free fall. The staffing at the White House is in a free fall. The Secretary of Defense is gone. We're pulling out of Syria. What is going on? You are in charge of the House, Senate, and White House. Get a grip and learn how to govern the country.
All right. Now, Tim Ryan's policy-wise, he has some problems. He isn't really a very progressive guy at all, but he was fantastic here. This 2-minute rant is just incredible. So he talks about how, first of all, again, Mexico will pay for it. I don't understand why this isn't brought up more often during this discussion about the border wall. I mean, I do hear it brought up, but it really should be the point that every Democrat on television, every pundit leads with, that Trump promised the border wall would be paid by Mexico. I mean, that was every Donald Trump rally. Who's going to pay for the wall? Mexico. And it's not brought up and emphasized as much as it should be. But I actually like his other point even better, comparing the border wall to out-of-date technology. This is just, it's the perfect comparison, because if you're actually concerned about illegal immigration, and I'm not really, but if you are concerned about it, a wall will do nothing. And that's largely because most illegal immigrants are just people that have come to the U.S. legally and just overstayed their visas. And that's according to Trump's Department of Homeland Security. And in fact, Canadians, not Mexicans, represent the largest number of visa overstays in the U.S., again, according to the DHS. But despite all that proof, they focus on a stupid-ass border wall. Now, the House also passed a short-term spending bill that includes the $5.7 billion Trump requested for his dumbass wall. Now, again, it's like, regardless of the data, regardless of the actual facts, the proof, they're pushing for this border wall that is just a complete waste of money. And actually, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had the best response to this $5.7 billion for the wall. And just like that, GOP discovers $5.7 billion for a wall. $5.7 billion. What if we instead added $5.7 billion in teacher pay, or replacing water pipes, or college tuition / prescription refill subsidies, or green jobs? But notice how no one's asking the GOP how they're paying for it. Exactly. This is a point that is getting brought up a lot more now, and it needs to keep getting brought up until the mainstream press understands what they're doing and corrects it. They only ever ask the how do you pay for it question if it's about helping people, if it's about healthcare or wages or college tuition. But if it's about some conservative policy like cutting taxes for the rich and corporations or building a $5.7 billion border wall that is not needed according to the actual facts, then where's the questions? The media does not ask the questions about that. Now, to be fair, a lot of the press is against this border wall, but they're not asking the right questions when the Republicans are actually on. They're just talking about, oh, why do we need this wall? But they don't ask, how are you paying for this $5.7 billion wall? Where is this money coming from? Who's going to be affected by this? How better could we use that money instead of building a fucking stupid ass wall? So this is the issue with the press. This issue alone, this border wall issue alone, really exposes all these different factors. Whether it's the Republicans and their bullshit or the media and their bullshit, it exposes how far from facts, far from data, the coverage on this issue is. So understand here, when you even have someone like Tim Ryan, who again isn't the most progressive guy, but understands how absurd this border wall is, when you have people with the actual facts, the actual data behind them, this is not a two sides issue. There isn't a, oh, well, conservatives think there should be a border wall, Democrats think there shouldn't be a border wall. I don't know what the answer is. The answer is the border wall is fucking dumb. That's the answer. Looking at the facts, at the data, at who illegal immigrants actually are. When they come into the country, most of them come in legally. They come in legally and overstay their visa, overstay their welcome, and they become illegal immigrants. They don't cross a fucking border on the Mexico border. And again, most of these people are me, Canadian. Most of the illegal immigrants, the ones overstaying their visa, are Canadian. But is anyone building a border wall to Canada? No. Maybe you should, but I think you probably shouldn't. So this whole thing, this whole discussion is so stupid, and it exposes the media's inability to focus on real issues around actual policy, around the money that would pay for that policy, like $5.7 billion, that could go pretty much anywhere and be more beneficial than being spent on a wall. Now, again, Tim Ryan was great here, but if you think Tim Ryan was good in this video, just wait until Ocasio-Cortez doesn't have to keep tweeting every day and is instead in the House giving speeches like that. She is going to she's going to really piss off some conservatives, and she's also going to piss off many Democrats, and I can't wait for it.